it's Tequila here with Southern Twang. If you're just stopping by, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are a sub, I thank you for coming back. So today I'm going to be doing the big reveal of my 23andMe DNA reports. Yay! Last time you saw my son and I, we were preparing our sample of saliva to send back to 23andMe. So here's what happened. He got his DNA, and I say he because I only tested one son, but both of them had the same DNA, so that is why I just tested one, because I wasn't going to pay for two kids to tell me the exact same information. They had the same parents. No, I wasn't doing it. So he got his DNA results back, and I had to wait for about 2 to 3 more weeks. Mama wasn't happy about that because I was so excited, so anxious. I wanted to know, and the message that they gave me was something like something about the sample. I don't know what it said, but anyway, I didn't have to resubmit anything. I guess they dug deeper in the test tube and got a little bit more saliva, and they were actually able to reprocess the sample and give me the results. So what you're going to be seeing today is the results of my 23andMe results. So stay tuned for that. So let's jump right into my 23andMe Ancestry reports. So as you can see, I am 71.6 West African and proud of it. Now, did I know that I was West African before I did this DNA report? No, not at all, but it was a welcome surprise. Now, my sons took the same 23andMe DNA test, and they're actually 81% West African. So they have something called the maternal haplogroup, but first I want to go ahead and get into the ancestry composition because it breaks it down. Just gonna click again. Okay. So what it does is it breaks everything down for you, and it says that I'm 77.1% sub-Saharan African. So if I click on that, it tells me where that 77% comes from. So 71.6%, as I said before, is the West African, and that could be anywhere, I believe, from Senegal to Nigeria, if I'm correct. I can't remember exactly. I looked it up. 2.6% East African, 1% Central and South African, and 2% broadly Sub-Saharan African. Oh, there it is. So the West Africa expands from Senegal to Nigeria. All right. And it says West Africans have a long shared history and were united by large empires such as the Ghana Empire, dating as far back as the 8th century AD. Okay, so let's look at the rest of my makeup. So I am also European, 19.8%, which is not a surprise, as you can see from my skin tone and the texture of my hair. Even my eyes, which I think my eyes are a little bit more related to maybe the Asian, I don't know. But European is not a big surprise for me. I just would, like to get more information and find some ancestors. So the East Asian and Native American is 1.1%, which is very small. Now I am told that my great grandfather had a lot of Native American in him, and I plan on getting my grandmother, who is in her 80s, tested with 23andMe also, and I will be posting those results, so stay tuned and look out for that. So it says that I am 0.1% South Asian, which to me is negligible, and the 1.9%, they don't know. It's all good. So I'm just going to go back, and first let me show you which part of Europe. So it says mostly northwestern Europe, which is in the light blue areas, and I'm 15.9% of that. And I am 9.9% British, and Irish, which is also the light blue area, and broadly Northwestern European, which is also the same blue area, and then 1% South European, which is, let's see, this color right here, okay, which is Italy and whatever this country is here. I was never good at geography, sorry. So one of the things that I like about 23andMe is that it also gives like genetic makeup or trait or things that you should be on the lookout for. So I'm going to go to my, let's see, traits. And waiting for that. So it tells you things like whether or not you're likely to smell asparagus odor. I know that's funny, but if you've never heard of it, what they say is that only certain people can actually smell the scent of asparagus in their urine after they eat it. And it says it likely can smell, which is true. Now let's talk about some of the things that were not true. Let's see. So where's the one that says unibrow? Right here. It says likely little or no unibrow. Well, I do have a unibrow. I used to before I started getting my eyebrows waxed. So I'm going to say want to that. But it says likely little, so maybe they consider what I had little. I don't know. Pretty much they were on point with these. I was born with a lot of baby hair. I have no freckling though. I do have moles on my face, flat ones. So they tell you things like this, which is kind of fun to find out. Now, some of the more serious things that they tell you are your genetic health risks. So this says that I am at a slightly increased risk for late onset Alzheimer's disease. I rebuke that. I do not accept it. Celiac disease. And this showed up as well in my son's report. And when I clicked on it, I found out that celiac disease is something about glutens affecting the intestines. And so it made sense because my youngest son would complain of a stomach ache, and I just thought that he was, tripping to try to get out of school or something. But since finding that out on his DNA report, I have began to switch to gluten-free products wherever I can find them. So let's see what it says about wellness. So it just talks about things like your genetic weight, your muscle composition, whether you deep sleep or not. Again, some of these things, pretty much most of them are on point. I am not a deep sleeper, and I do not flush after alcohol consumption. And my weight is predisposed to weigh about average, maybe slightly a little bit more than average. Let's see something else. Let's see, we talked about wellness, we talked about traits, carrier status. Did we go over that? No. So they also test you to see whether you have variants of different, health conditions. And thankfully, I'm not a carrier of anything. And when I hear the word carrier, it makes me think of like sickle cell. Some people have, the disease sickle cell, and some people are just carriers of it, which means they could pass it down to their children. But again, thankfully, I do not show any variants for any of these conditions. So that is my report. I hope you have enjoyed it. Feel free to leave your comments, your questions below. And if you have an experience with 23andMe, let us know about that. So don't forget to like, to subscribe, to share, and come back for more. Thanks.